Is it? Yeah, it's been. Hi everyone, it's Miss Nikki Ann. I just wanted to make a quick post. I've been really busy with things. I have to homeschool my son this year because I was denied my disability, so I'm appealing and I can't afford to send him to the private Christian school he's been going to this year. It's pretty expensive that he'd been going to. But also I'm not. I'm in New England, so Hurricane Irene, and then my brother, his wife, and his 7-month-old and 4-year-old were staying with us because they lost power. We didn't. Um, so that was the four of them. Then me, my mom, dad, and my son here in the house. 8 people was uh, overwhelming. But it went really well. Yeah. Um, my neighbor, I witnessed her trying to commit suicide twice within 6 days. The first time she was on her roof when I arrived, and she had pressed a knife that was, I mean, really long, like wow, it was crazy long, a foot. The blade itself was a foot long, and she was sitting on top of her house, 2-story house, with it pressed into her chest. Long story. Um, I talked to her, got her to put the knife down. Some other things transpired, but got her to put the knife down. And her father's a reverend, and she's my best friend's sister. Right next door, I can see the house, and grew up here 36 years. Um, but my best friend, who we have the same birthday, but she's 1 year older than I am. There's a gap between her and her siblings, so maybe like a 20-year gap or something. So it was her older sister. Um, and then a few days later, so that was that Monday, then that Saturday, our neighbors came. Not, she wasn't home with anyone at the time, but some other neighbors came to get us, me and my mom, and she had finally done it. She was able to stab herself twice. Um, there was a piece of her liver on the deck. We got there before the paramedics and the cops, and it was pouring rain. And just to witness something like that with your own eyes, blood pouring out of people's wounds, and I could see the knife, and she had neatly folded the white towel that was just drenched in blood, and it's raining, and so blood is so concentrated, so as it's raining, the blood was spreading even more as it was diluted by the rain. She was soaked, we were all soaked. And this was the day before the hurricane. A lot. Just when the cop lifted up the shirt, we could see the wounds and the bleeding in the liver, and there was just bits and pieces of her innards on the deck. And when I got there, she was in the backyard crawling, and she looked at me and she's like, "Nikki, everything's fine." Just as she was upset with me when she was on top of the house, and had said to me at some point, uh, later on that day, "Oh, Nikki is just over exaggerating, have people think I'm crazy." She was on top of the house with a knife about to stab herself, and then later that Saturday did actually do it. So she's scolding me, and she's dying, bleeding to death as she's scolding me, and it's raining, and she's crawling up to the deck, and it was traumatic. And I see a psychiatrist and 2 psychologists anyway, so I have 3 1-hour sessions all together each week. I do a women's group because I was molested for 4 years as a child, so I do a women's group on Monday, and her first attempt happened on that Monday, so it was great. So it happened, and 2 hours later I had to go to women's group, so it was good. But I do women's group. I do group meditation on Wednesdays with my psychologist, and also do one-on-one with him about every month or so. And then I see a psychiatrist every Friday for an hour, and this time she saw me for 2 hours because this was Friday and yesterday. and there's a lot to work through, because it just kind of agitated my trauma from having been molested, and brought so much to the surface that it took us 2 hours, because I was starting to feel very out of sorts and so forth, and she wanted to make sure I was mentally okay before leaving her office. So it is a struggle. And the only thing that made my neighbor put the knife down was because her father's a reverend. She grew up in a very Christian-based home, and I said to her, I said, a lot of things are going to happen today, but that right there is not going to happen. And meaning her stabbing herself. I said, I want to see you in the heavens, and this is not the way we're going to get there. And as soon as I said that, she put the knife down. Nothing else had worked, but mentioning basically that, we want to be able to meet God, and I want to meet you with him. Got her to put the knife down. So God is good. Shows you how there's a million things I said to her, but that foundation of knowing that there's a creator connected with her, and having been raised that way, it made the difference. And so she's doing a little bit better. She's been so that was last Saturday. She's still in the hospital, and I still have flashes. I look at the house because it's right there. I've known them. They're more of family than neighbors. Her mom and dad called the mom Nana, and I don't know. It's just, so I've been dealing with that. My gastroparesis is bad. My dysmotility is bad. My POTS is doing much better because of the saline infusions. I do not miss them. I do not miss that weekly infusion on Thursdays. Despite how long it is, I do not miss going, because it keeps me upright a little bit more. And also whatever is happening with the, just a lot with my body. But I just wanted to say hello. It's longer than I wanted it to be, but wanted to let you guys know what was going on in my world, and I want to say hi to everyone. I'm not going to go down the list because all of you guys are important to me, and I don't even want to single out one person, because watching your videos, every single one of you, makes a difference in my life. So thank you for sharing your life with me. You're a blessing to me, and it keeps me going to know that I am not alone in the chronic illness world. And for those of you out there who support me and you don't have a chronic illness, but you're just living life, and life alone is difficult. It has nothing to do with being sick even. Thank you for sharing your talent with me online, and your knowledge, everything. I love you for it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys later.